Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have just sat here and explained to you how I'm going to do my 6x6 card, box, and explained it all, and then realised that I didn't turn my camera on. So let's do this again. So I am back here with you today to create the boxes for the 6x6 cards that we created in our first mini series of the year, and the A2 ones as well. So we're going to do the boxes. So I'm going to start off with the 6-inch square ones, base ones. So basically how I do my measurements is I draw a diagram. I prefer drawing a diagram because it works so much better. I'm just saying, yes, we've got another piece of card here. So I've already did the measurements, so I'm going to go over it with you. So for our base, we want it so that it is, if you put it on to your board, your scoreboard, push it into that corner and then work out, so that goes to 6.5 inches, and then again across there 6.5 inches. So I know that I need my base to be 6.5 inches squared. So let's draw a square. Okay, so there's my square, and this needs to be 6.5 inches. Now, when I place, when I want to work out what the height of my box I want to have, I get everything included in the envelopes, and we just pop it onto the scoreboard and then look at the measurement. So the measurement is 1.5 inches. So I know I need the sides of our piece to be 1.5 inches. So I then draw on my sides, and we put them in at 1.5 inches all the way around, like so. I then need to work out the size of paper. So this bit is really easy. So all we do is, so we'll go lengthways, so it's 1.5 inches plus 6.5 inches plus 1.5 inches. So that's the width. So we add that together, that's 9.5 inches. And then for the height, for the length, sorry, we want 1.5 inches, 6.5 inches plus 1.5 inches, and that equals 9.5 inches. So the paper we need is 9.5 inch squared, and we score every side at 1.5 inches, and that will create our base. Now for our lid, and I found this to work every single time, I always add onto my base, so add onto this little piece here 1/8 of an inch. So let's start off with our little square. So this is for the lid. Now this needs to have an extra 1/8 of an inch. So we then need this part to be 6 5/8 of an inch squared. So that is the center of our lid. And then the sides are going to be exactly the same as the lid. These are all going to be 1.5 inches. So let's put our 1.5 inches in, just like so. So now that we've done that, we can then do our calculations. So the width is 1.5 inches plus 6 5/8 plus 1.5 inches, which equals 9 5/8. And then our length is 1.5 inches plus 6 5/8 of an inch plus 1.5 inches, which equals 9 5/8. So then we need a piece of paper that measures 9 5/8 squared. Totally spelled wrong, but yeah. So 9 5/8 of an inch squared, and then again, same as the top, we score every side at 1.5 inches. So that is how I work out my box. So that's what we're going to do for, this is for the 6x6 cards. So while we're here, let's do the measurements for our A2 cards. So first thing we need to do is we need to know how big our cards are. And you want to, again, hold them all because you do want the envelopes. Envelopes are always bigger than your card, and you just want to push it up. So I know that this needs to be 4.5 by 6 inches. So our base, so it's a rectangle base this time, needs to be 4.5 by 6 inches. So that's the base that we need. I then need to work out the height, same as the other one. And grab them all together, push them up into the corner, and again we can do at 1.5 inches for this one as well. So on all sides I want to add 1.5 inches. So let's put our sides on. So this is the base that we're working on now. Okay, so 1.5 inches, 1.5, 1.5 and 1.5, and then this is where we're going to work out our measurements, the size of paper that we need. So starting off with our our length, we're going to do 1.5 inches plus, and then we want this measurement, which is 6 inches plus 1.5 inches. So we need a piece that is 9 inches, and then let's do the width, which is 1.5 inches. Then this measurement, because it's the shorter side, we want 4.5 inches plus 1.5 inches. So that equals 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.5 inches. So we need a piece of paper that is 9 inches by 7.5 inches, and then score every side at 1.5 inches. That is the base for that one. I hope you're following this along. Now for the lid, so same principles as before with the 6 by 6. We want to add 1/8 of an inch on. So because we have two measurements, we need to add 1/8 of an inch on to both of these measurements. So the 6 inch side is going to be 6 1/8 of an inch. And then the 4.5 inch side is going to be 4 by 5/8 of an inch. Keep the sides the same. So as you can see, I've just popped on 1/8 of an inch on each of those two measurements. And I do this every time I need a box because, yeah, I am very visual. I need it to be able to see them. So we're going to have it the same height at 1.5 inches. So I'm going to put 1.5 inches in each of them. And then we're just going to do our calculations. So let's start with the longest side. So we've got 1.5 inches plus 6 1/8 of an inch plus 1.5 inches. So we need a piece that is 9 1/8 of an inch. Now the shortest side, so 1.5 inches plus 4 5/8 of an inch plus 1.5 inches equals 7 5/8 of an inch. So our paper size is 9 1/8 by 7 5/8. So you cut that down and then you score every side at 1.5 inches. So now we've done that, we can then put it into practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my trimmer. So I'm going to bring in my Tim Holtz one. So this is my big one. And we're gonna cut all the paper down. So let me move my scoreboard because we don't actually need that yet. Now for the 6 by 6 piece for the lid, because this is going to be the lid, I need a piece that is 9 by 5 8 inches. So I need it to be there but I want this to be sort of centered, so I'm thinking let's take an inch off each side. Okay, so an inch off. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I want this to be centered. So now I'm left with a 10-inch piece. So I need to take a quarter, no, less than that actually. So I'm going to take 1/8 of an inch off each side. Okay. Because I want this to be equal. You don't have to do this. This is just because of the paper that I'm using for the top. Okay. So that's 1/8 of an inch. Now I need to take 1/8 of an inch off. So I could take 1/16 off each side, which is what I'm going to do. To make it easier, if you haven't done this before, to make this easier, use a plain piece. It's just that I want this as the yeah, cover. I want it as the lid because I just think it'll look really nice. So that should be, now this measures, this piece now measures at 9 5/8 by 9 5/8. So I took off an inch, then I took off a quarter of an inch, and then I took 1/16 of an inch off to get that into the center. So yeah, very confusing, I know. Now what do I want on the bottom? Oh, let's do the screen. So then for the base, I need a 9.5 inch square piece. So this one I'm just going to put straight at 9.5 inches, like so. Okay, so that is my 6x6 box. Let's turn the card over. So for the A2 cards, I'm going to have the striped one first for the base, and this needs to be 9 inches by 7.5 inches. So let's measure that. So 9 inches by 7.5 inches. Okay, so there's the base, and then for the lid, which I'm going to have is this one, we need 9 1/8 of an inch. So cut that there by 7 5/8 of an inch. I'll put that one there. So that's those done. Okay. How am I going to get this back in? I did tidy up actually before I came on, but yeah, that didn't last very long. Okay, so that is for these ones. So as you can see, when I put the paper together, this one is 1/8 of an inch larger than the base, and yeah, it really does work every time. I haven't had an issue. So moving them off to the side, I'm going to grab these. I'm going to grab my scoreboard, and then the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my score tool, and I'm going to score every side of 1.5 inches. So 1.5, turn it, 1.5, turn, 1.5, turn, and 1.5. So that is that one, and then I'm going to do the same for the lid. So 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and then the final side, oh, make sure it's in properly, 1.5. So that is that one. Let's grab the little ones, and we're going to do exactly the same on these. So 1.5 inches on every single side. Okay. I do get asked a lot actually about box making, so I mean there is, but I do have quite a few showing you my method of creating a box, but it's always nice to have like a little refresher, isn't it? But this is my fail-safe of creating a box, and I don't waste any paper now by doing it this way. So it is definitely for me personally, it's definitely the best method I have. I used to go through so much cardstock trying to work out how to do my boxes. So I'm just going to go around and we're going to burnish these edges. Okay, there's that one. Actually, I'm going to have that at the bottom because that's nice. Okay, again, just going all the way around and burnish them. May as well do these ones. Green at the bottom. So, burnish them all. There's that one. And then, yeah, that one is the lid. And then burnish these ones. Okay. Right. Actually, I don't know which one's meant to be which. I think that might be the lid. Yeah. Anyway. Right. So, next up, we just want to cut our corners. So, we're just going to cut on this side, on the left side of the score mark, right the way down to where the score marks join. And then we're going to cut a wedge out of there and a wedge out of the top just to the score line. And we're going to do this to every single like little corner piece. And this is what we're going to use to stick our box together. Okay, so there we are, last one. So again, I'm going to do this to all of them. So there's that one, that's this. Now onto this one. Okay. And just cut them out. And the reason why we cut the wedge out is because then it doesn't hang over the edge when we stick them down. You'll find that if you don't cut this out, they will stick over. Okay. And then this one, and then that one. Right, the last one. I'm going to do the same with the little ones. So, okay, let's grab these. So let's do the same with these ones. And we're going to cut. And even though these are different size, this is a rectangle one, we're still going to do exactly the same as what we're doing with the 6x6 one. Okay, so cutting that wedge out. Like so. And you're not going to see this because it is going to be on the inside of the box. Okay. Oh. Get enough of that one out. There we go. Right. And then the last piece. So let's do that. And cut that out. Oh. And then this side. Okay. And then this side. So you can see, once you've got your measurements, they do make up really, really quickly. So yeah, they do. They are quite fun to make. I like making boxes, but I know they're not everybody's cup of tea. But I did, like I said, since doing it this way, I've never had an issue with making any of my boxes. So it is definitely one of the best ways I found of doing them. Right, I'm going to grab my glue. You can use red liner tape for this. You can use whatever you want. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on the outside of these flaps and stick them onto the inside, just like that. Make sure that corner is nice and straight. And we're going to do this all the way around. And we're going to do this again on all 4 pieces. And I'm going to stay on camera because I just want you to see how well this method works. So we haven't done any testing or anything. We've just, yeah, we're just going for it. But yeah, there's just something about doing measurements that really, really help with me, but I know that it's not going to be everyone's method. And there's some amazing tutorials out there as well on how to create boxes. But you see, the thing is if you need a box a certain size, I think sometimes it's nice to know how to get that certain size, isn't it? So trying the method, like the measurement way and the diagram way, hopefully, I'm hoping will help you guys. Okay. And help you to make any box size that you wish. Okay, that's that one. So, and I'm just using my Nouveau Deluxe glue for this. I love this glue. I love the art glitter glue as well. But yeah, it seems to be, this is the one that I seem to use more because it's gorgeous. Right. Okay. So there's that. Now, I'm not putting them together yet. We'll put them together in a moment. So, and this one. Again, just making sure these edges, these lines are straight up against there. Okay. So that's at a nice right angle. Glue this one. Okay, there's that one. And our final one for this bit. How long have I been on? So I mean, we're at 22 minutes and we've nearly finished our boxes. I think that is fab. And I've gone through all of the working out with you as well. We've cut the paper down because I haven't stopped the camera yet. So it just goes to show how quick and easy it can be. I'm just hoping it definitely works now. Like I said, it's always worked for me, so I've never had an issue. So unless I've done my sums wrong, which I don't think I have. Yeah, I'm double checking my sums now. It's the only thing I say it's the only thing I was good at in school. There was a few other things, but I did enjoy my maths. So yeah, I think you were either maths or English, weren't you? I was definitely maths. My youngest daughter is maths. My eldest daughter is English. My husband is English. Well, there you go. Right. So next up, I'm going to grab the envelopes, pop them in the bottom. As you can see, perfect snug fit. And then pop the cards in. And then, fingers crossed, drum roll please. Yay! And then if I turn it over, you can see that fit is just lovely. So that's our A2 size box. So let's grab the 6x6 one, and again I'm going to grab my envelopes and pop them in. A nice fit. And then we're going to pop the cards in like so. They do come up just a bit over, but I did push them down. And then we're going to grab the lid and pop that on, and there you have it. And as you can see, a lovely fit. That 1/8 of an inch for your lid honestly is all you need, and it makes the biggest difference in the world. So there you go. I mean, how beautiful is that now? So this set of cards with the box are actually for my challenge. They're going to win this and oh, I put it away. I've already put it in the box ready to be sent out, and a folio that I've made. So, and then there'll be a couple of other things. So if you'd like to join in the group challenge, it is over on Facebook. There is a link right at the bottom of my description, in the description box, to the Facebook group. Lovely, lovely men and women on there. They're honestly fabulous. Loads and loads of inspiration, guys. Lots and lots. And then to finish this off, I'm hoping in here, this is all of my ephemera that I want to use up for, yeah, on my how many cards that I just have loads and loads of it. So that is ready for when I do a how many cards video, which will be in a few days, hopefully. So I'm aiming for one a week, but yeah, there might be a few weeks where we miss. So, and I'm just going to grab some of this string, and we're going to wrap it up, and it's as simple as that. that is, and how lovely is that as a gift? I gave loads of these out actually for Christmas, and you know, they were all gratefully received, which was really nice. Everybody just loved them, and they loved them that much that one of my friends actually gave me one of my cards for my birthday, which, oh, honestly, was so funny. I loved it though. I was like, oh, that's the best card that I've ever seen. But she said she may as well, and I was like, well, that's what I gave you them for. So it was really nice actually receiving it back, because it is a beautiful card. So yeah, it was quite funny. I enjoyed it. So but yeah, they make beautiful gifts. So yeah, definitely something that I really like. So there we go. Let's just trim that off. And there they are, ready to be gifted out or to be used. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and it has been very super helpful. Yeah, definitely doesn't fill me out, like, yeah, never filled me yet. So I always have a visual representation. The thing is, so now if I wanted to, I could, instead of continuously checking, I could just put this in a folder and keep it, which actually I might do. So I've permanently got my box measurements for my A2 cards and my 6x6 cards. So yeah, I think I'm going to start doing that. I think I'm going to put myself a little folder together to put all of my measurements in for the different size cards that I make to do boxes, because I think how cool would that be. And maybe it's something that you guys can do too. But that's it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, please do all take care and happy crafting. Bye.